everyone? I'm Shadeen, and welcome to another episode of OUTPour, where we're talking everything LGBTQ, pop culture, and social justice. Red Bone, Chocolate Drop, Light Bright, Dark Meat. All nicknames, all either terms of endearment or insults based on one's complexion. I want to know, have any of you been called names because of your skin color?
Of course.
Of
course.
Absolutely.
I've gotten red bone.
I've been called Blackie.
Yeah, I've been called Black Ass.
Black McKnight.
Black McKnight.
Yeah, because Brian McKnight was a thing.
And so the images that we see and the names we get called really from a young age influence how we see ourselves.
Absolutely.
Correct.
Did you grow up feeling happy about your skin complexion?
Hell no.
No, I definitely did not like my skin tone. I didn't start embracing my dark skin until I was probably about to graduate high school.
Well, my family is predominantly light skinned. I'm probably the darker one, so I can share that with you. I'm probably the darker shade of color in my family. So I kind of be like, well, I don't look like them.
So
Like,
you
because
took
my mother's complexion is light skinned, but my father is my complexion. However, there's also members of my family that are both light skinned, but they had a light skin or a dark skinned child, and then vice versa. Like my mother and my sister, she's light skinned, but her mother is like my complexion and my father's complexion, but she came out light skinned.
Those recessive genes, honey.
Right.
Yes.
So it varies, but at the same time, like I don't know honestly within myself if I could say I had a problem with, my complexion. I think I probably wanted to, when I was a young age, wanted to be like lighter skin. Then I was like, I like my caramel complexion. I'm cool, I'm chilling, I'm in between, I'm all right with it.
And I think a lot of people assume that everyone who is lighter wants to be light-skinned or wants to be even lighter skinned than they are. And
Honey, by slave standards, you would be in the house.
Yeah.
You would be the house nigga.
Yeah.
I would be in the field.
Yes.
Okay. You would be in the house.
I will be in the field.
Working side by side.
Side by side.
so now let's think about this, right? That I personally don't identify as light-skinned, but I very much am happy with my complexion.
You red bone.
Right? Thank you.
I guess. I don't know.
How do all of you feel now, right? After noticing all of the messages that you got growing up, how do you feel about your skin complexion now?
I'm okay with it.
I love it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I love it, particularly because I don't know if it's because I personally grew into. I think I grew into my complexion in high school, which was the early 2000s, 2000, 2001, and like now to be celebrated for being dark skinned, but not being dark skinned, being dark skinned, bald, and bearded.
Right.
So I'm like a trifecta
Black
of
Jesus.
sexiness.
Black Jesus.
Black bearded Jesus at that. So I think now, like, I'm just like in it, like, dark skinned niggas winning right now. This is our season.
You can tweet that.
Dark skinned niggas winning the hashtag. I coined that. Okay. But I mean, I think now, like, everybody's comfortable with being who they are, no matter what the skin tone is.
Yeah, I know. I definitely have no qualms about my complexion now. I embrace it. Women love it, men love it. I'm good. I remember a time when I was trying to use bleaching cream when I was in high school, but but some people are still trapped in that mind. And
what were you trying to achieve?
Just to be able to look like the people who are cute or who are more attractive in my mind. And if
From what we were taught.
What I was taught, right? If I had lighter skin, I could put on a S curl.
Okay,
So I
get some pretty hair.
Listen, so I had my black ass had a curly kid, had a swoop, bang, all this stuff when I was in high school with gray eyes.
Bitch, I want to see this so
Doing the
bad.
fool.
Yes. You gotta bring that in.
This is what you said, right?
Hello, Mama,
About
we got
dark-skinned women. Do we feel like gender plays a role in colorism?
Absolutely, I think it's harder for women. Because women are so objectified, because they are held to these high standards of beauty, colorism affects them 10 times as much as a man, So, I mean, I'm not a woman.
There's two factors they have against them, though. You're a woman, number one. And number two, you're a woman, number one. Number two, you're also a different skin tone.
Right.
So you're not where the purity that I want you to be if I'm going to hire you. Like, if I had a light-skinned sister and a dark-skinned sister trying to go get a job, that I bet you any amount of money that light-skinned sister's going to get the job if she has a white interviewer.
Right.
It has been known to be that way, and a lot of workplaces has been talked about, because the fact of the matter is that is the case.
But see, here's the thing.
And it's a shame.
Being darker complected is also associated with aggression.
Right.
So even when they created criminal profiles before Jim Crow laws, before we were free as slaves, the criminal profile was of a dark complected person with strong nose, big lips, brooding eyes, wild hair. It was a black man who looked like us.
We internalize
That trauma and that
system
pain.
of
Which
oppression,
causes
right?
colorism.
That a lot of the times we're not consciously deciding, right, that it's so pervasive.
Right.
If we think about the Clark doll experiments from the early 1940s, right, that they started this, Oprah recreated it in the 90s, right, that you show young children just old enough to speak, a selection of dolls, varying in skin complexion, and you say, which is the good doll?
And they
It's
choose
always
lighter
the
version.
lightest doll,
Lighter version.
right? Which is the evil doll,
I mean,
the
but I
bad
think
doll, which is the ugly doll, the darker skin, and it doesn't have to be explicitly communicated, right? That these are subtleties. If you notice who the villains
Subliminal
are
messages.
in cartoons,
Right.
What's their skin complexion look like? When we think about the difference between dark and or night and day, right? How do we talk about colors? And so, Rob, you had said earlier about the messages that we communicate to our children and our loved ones as we're raising them. For all of you, if you were to think about a young adult who might be hearing this or really following along in this conversation, what would you want them to know about this?
That you should be comfortable within your skin and understand that you are the true beauty of the legacy of your parents, and to carry that on. You are, regardless of what skin tone you come out to be, you are a legacy of your parents. You are beauty. You're created in beauty. I feel as that.
I'll just say if you don't, you should embrace your complexion, you should embrace your color, because if everybody was the same color, the world would be a boring place.
So to all my people of color out there, you are your ancestors' wildest dreams. You are beautiful.